on our hard drive. So I'll send you the hard files and all the links. So hang tight after we wrap up because we'll debrief.
Totally fine.
All right. Yes. So we're going live at the top of the hour at 3 p.m. So if you are tuning in later, fast forward through the first like 3 minutes because we're just waiting on the internet to be appropriate.
Although we won't be.
Yes, we don't plan on being appropriate. Hopefully the internet. Right now there are. Oh, hey, Jezbeth. Hi, Christina. I'm sending you an email, Christina. Get ready. There's harassment coming to your inbox. I mean that with love. Oh, all the things. All the things is very exciting. Hey, yeah. Oh, yes, I got a yes exclamation point. Get ready, Christina. It's going to be an all cap lock email. So I'm going to yell in the email. Fear of missing out. That's what FOMO is. Fear of missing out. Right. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Monica.
It's like the key to fan club.
Oh, yeah. Very exciting. We are so excited. I haven't been this excited since like 2 minutes ago. So
we were exciting ourselves before we went live.
We were in a frenzy in the prep for the live. All the things. So 1 minute and counting. So again, if you are tuning in, fast forward through the first few minutes. Oh, why are you terrified, Christina? Come on, man, take the leap.
She's terrified of you?
Well, I don't know why. I'm like nice and friendly.
Right, because your business is literally named Bully. So
yeah, I don't know why that would be intimidating.
Clearly an issue with her. Yeah.
Oh, Christina, okay. Don't be scared. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It's 3 p.m. Oh. Hello. I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal, professional butt kicker. And of course, at Success Bully, we are overachievers. So if you've been following the 5 Days of Focus Challenge, we are like literally on day 8 because we wanted to over deliver. Day 8, day 9. What day are we on, guys? Because we went over the weekend, Christina. We're beyond day 6. This party's been going on. And so we're overachievers here, and we wanted to make sure that we brought you incredible content that was answering some of the questions that we were seeing in the chats, that were really hitting in on things that that the community would find valuable. So we're so excited. We are so excited. So the 5 Days of Focus Challenge, we're wrapping that up. And so the FOMO point I wanted to make, the fear of missing out, you don't want to miss out. What you don't want to miss out on is if you haven't walked through every step of the challenge, please go back and look at the units, because effective 11:59 tomorrow, we'll be taking everything down. So if you need to binge watch, if you need to catch up, if you need to, if you missed a part, you want to rewatch something, go back to the unit section and revisit the 5 Days of Focus. Again, another FOMO moment, another fear of missing out moment. You don't want to miss out on Your 90-Day Way is our group coaching program. We have a special promotional price. So we have a special price that ends tomorrow at 11:59. And in case you need me to remind you one more time what the Your 90-Day Way program is, this is our flagship group coaching program. It is essentially, we help you get clear on your goals. We break them down. We have a tracking system. We have accountability check-ins to help you navigate all the way through. We'll touch on your time management. We'll touch on how to make things go faster, better, where to focus your energy. This program is specifically for, and Kristin and I are going to talk about this, velvet runners. So that means that you are accomplished. You've checked all the boxes. You've done what you should do. And now you're trying to figure out what's next. This program is great for our delightful procrastinators. So if you've had that passion project that you've been talking about for the last 3 years and you just can't seem to get it off the ground, come on, you're a delightful procrastinator. This program is for you. If you are a FOFfer, I love saying this word, FOFfer. If you have a fear of failure, because as a high achiever, the idea of crashing and burning is so scary to you that you won't even get started. Or on the flip side of that, are you a fosser? Are you so scared of success that you'll get it working that you are sabotaging your own success? This program is for you if you fall into those categories. This is not for you if you can excuse your way out of anything. If you've already given me 3 excuses on why you didn't finish your homework for the 5 days of focus, this may not be the best suited program for you. If you're still waiting for things to be absolutely perfect, this may not be the program for you. If you only want to see the big picture and you're not ready to work on the day-to-day activities to move closer to your goals, this isn't the program for you. If you are perfectly content not using your time, talent, and treasure to build the life you deserve, this is not the program for you. And if procrastination is your primary way of being, this is not the program for you. And so, just a friendly reminder, it is a 6-month commitment. You will have access to our accountability tracking system. You will have weekly coaching calls with me. You will have weekly accountability check ins with an accountability advisor, and you will have an accountability partner that you connect with daily. So, there's triple layers of accountability here, right? So, our special introductory price is $500 a month. You can do a paid in full, which lands you at $3,000 a month, which lands you to $3,000 for the whole program, which includes 2 private coaching sessions with me if you pay up front. After today, it goes up to $850 a month. So you want to get in on this special promotional pricing because it's going up. This is the cheapest we're ever going to offer it. I know I sound like the sham wow guy. Yeah, I just need like a sham wow. So yeah, this is the lowest we're gonna ever offer this program. It's gonna go up, 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 and up from here. All right. So with that, I've said all I need to say about the your 90-day way. If you have not booked your spot, grab it now because it's limited. If you need to a few more questions answered, reach out to your concierge. So if your first name begins with the letters A through K, Monica is your go-to. If your first name begins with the letters L through Z, then Maggie is your go-to. So ladies, say hello in the chat. So now that I've done my commercial break, this is a great pivot to the amazing Kristin Graham. Let me give you some accolades. Kristin is a former journalist turned tech leader. Her career has all been centered around storytelling, and her career has spanned nonprofits to Fortune 50s. She has really leaned into the process around communication, whether it's executive communication, employee communication, D&I, philanthropy, learning and development. She's got all the tricks in her toolbox. She's got all the tools in the toolkit. She actually took a year-long sabbatical. I want to talk about your sabbatical as well. I forgot to put that in my list of questions. Before she joined Amazon, where she leads the culture and communication programs. And so Kristin is also my spirit animal. So in addition to asking some very amazing questions about productivity and communication, you're pretty much going to be tuning into one of our cocktail hours. So this could go off the rails. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep it on the rails. Maybe. We don't know. So we're inviting you into one of our private conversations. So gear up, buckle up, enjoy. So Kristin is a frequent speaker. She's a keynote. She's internationally known as an expert on communication and information sciences. She has a master's degree from Northwestern. Go Cats! I'm also a Wildcat and an executive MBA from University of Illinois at Chicago. So hello, Kristin. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, my friend. I need a nap already. Or a drink. Bartender.
Barkeep.
Another round.
Barkeep. So Kristin, how did you make the transition from journalist to communications leader? Like, when did that shift start for you from I'm the storyteller to now I'm shaping the stories?
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know if you and I have ever, of our many, many conversations, I don't know if we've ever had this one from our Northwestern days to, and the short answer is I became accidentally corporate. My plan was I was going to be working in magazines in New York. That was my jam.
Uh-huh.
And this girl from Phoenix, Arizona, I was gonna go and do all of this. And the short version is 9/11 happened. I came out of Northwestern in 2000. I got my graduate degree then, and I was completely intending to go and to be that particular space. And 9/11 changed the world, obviously. And at the time, I was then sitting around being a stringer for the Chicago dailies. So I was like taking my assignments. And a girlfriend of mine was dating a corporate recruiter. It's so funny because now you and I know Carmen Hudson, and that's a whole industry. And at the time, I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right. Who does that all day?
I was like, what? That's cute. And I remember the guy said to me, do you want to go on some job interviews? I have all these. And I was like, well, but I'm waiting for my big New York. And he said, but you'll make me look good. At least go in for some interviews. And I was like, okay, it's good practice.
Right.
And I went into a corporate Fortune 50. This was the pre-Facebook days where it was like cafeterias and on-site daycare centers. And I'm like, this is corporate? It wasn't, but it was that particular place. And I was like, this is what y'all do? And I went on this interview and they came back and they told me the salary. And I'm like, what? I was going to make like $2 as a journalist. So I'm being very silly, but so I went into corporate, and a huge thing happened. As a communicator, you get to be in a lot of rooms. And I got to be at the executive offsite. So all the biggies were in the room. I'm in the way back of the room because I'd stacked the chairs or something. And I heard the CEO. I did. I heard the CEO talking to his leaders. And one of the things he said, and I'll never forget this, he said, there's two things in business. There's people and capital. And the capital, all y'all here in the front row, you're looking after the capital. We've got our investment people and our analysts and everything else. But the people, they walk out the door every day. And it's your job to bring them back in. And that's when I knew that my beat was going to be employees.
Oh, wow. That gave me the goosebumps.
People were my people.
People were my people. Oh, wow. We have never had that conversation. We've never had that conversation. I think, like, similarly, my twists and turns in how I got into public relations pre being a professional butt kicker was I graduated from NU in 01. So my plan was to go straight to New York. And that didn't happen with 9/11, stayed in Milwaukee, whatever. Eventually quit my job and moved to New York with a suitcase and a dream with my friend Gwenna, who's probably watching right now. Gwenna was already living there like a year, whatever. It's a whole messy story. And twists and turns, I fell into public relations because, like, I wanted to do marketing.
Yeah.
I wanted to market. And my manager said, you have a really great personality. You should do PR on this thing. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And are you calling me ugly? Like, like, dude, like, what did you just say to me? Like, that's what you say to a girl when you want to let her down gently. Like,
wow, that was dark.
And fell into public relations, fell into tech, and it took me all over the world. Very exciting. So, like, one of the things that I'm really fascinated about is your approach to communication.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I find it fascinating because, like, I have the love of storytelling as well, but also I love that you have combined storytelling and productivity. So tell us a little more about your word nerd approach to things.
We love to rhyme. What you're gonna get from me and Kita is rhyming and alliteration.
A lot of alliterations.
No extra charge.
None. Those free. We give them freely.
It's all good. Oh my gosh. Was there a question? I've already forgotten it.
Oh yeah, the question. Tell us more about how you combine storytelling and productivity and like the science of things.
Sure. So it really was spawned out of being selfish because I'd spent so long as an English major and then journalism, and I was always trying to tell stories. And when you go into corporate, it's that element of there's no bylines, you don't get the credit. And so everything was like, well, we sent an email so everybody knows. And I am definitely, I do bullshit as a sport. And I'm kind of like, what?
It's one of my core competencies.
Yeah, like I'm the youngest and only girl in a military Catholic family. Like, bring it. That's sarcasm. They're like side dishes on any conversation buffet with Kristin. But I was always like, wait, what now? You think that people? So I dug into the journalism element of research. Trust but verify. Mm-hmm. And so then I was like, but what does that mean? And the beautiful thing of always talking to employees is you yourself are an employee. And so I'm like, he did not leave to go spend more time with his family. Y'all fired him. Like, can we,
right. Let's be honest here.
like, fake news before fake news was a thing. And so part of the research was really around being selfish. I wanted to make sure that the stories I was telling were being heard and being seen. And then there's so many mediums, right? So there was a lot of the professional edge of it, but then I'll also tell you, since we're doing storytelling, a lot of it changed so my oldest son is 17 and he's on the autism spectrum. So I go from having super type A, over-educated nerdness about words, and then God gives me this gift of an individual who is like, here's neurodiversity, and all of your tricks aren't necessarily going to work. And so I started overlaying science and brain science and comms, and then the digital age exploded. I've spent, gosh, over a dozen years in .com. So it's all about information overload. So there's personal, professional, intrinsic, and I love to collect a good stat, as you know.
Oh, yes, I do know.
So don't get me too started.
Oh, no, I'm going to start you up. So tell me more. Like, this blew my whole head open. You mentioned it in passing, and then I was like counting my word count on email for weeks. So what is the science behind the 111 word email? Tell me more about that. That blew my head open, because then I was like, okay, this is too long. Sure. Delete. Kristin said 111 words.
Well, but it's true. If you think about it, the average working professional gets over 200 emails are sitting in their inbox, either because they're receiving them or because they haven't acted on them. So give us a +1 for those of you who are live, if that feels right to you.
If we're driving up your driveway, go ahead and honk.
Hello.
Oh, hello, that's me. Hello, Monica's upset about my email right now.
Yes, I don't know what's happening over there. But so when you really look at not focusing on how well you write, when you look at the attention span of your recipient, when you become reader obsessed, it changes the game for you as a communicator. So 111 words was research from the Associated Press. We're former journalists. So the AP came out and said 49% of the people will stop reading after 111 words. And that's attention span.
Right.
And that's so when you extrapolate your one email by 199 other emails that your recipient is trying to pay attention to. And that's before chats and before meetings and before texts. That's just one channel. But it's saying the attention capacity is going to drop off after 111 words. So I teach a lot around how to write better, faster. And that's the number one tip.
Is 111 words. You all heard it. So no one send me an email longer than that. I don't have it. I didn't read it.
Well, it's funny you say that. I was teaching, I teach big classes at Amazon, and there was this executive at Amazon, and he was talking to a group, and he said, you have 2 swipes of my finger on the phone, and then I will stop reading.
2 swipes. Okay. So 2 swipes. That's good. Sometimes, occasionally I'll go back and look at my emails on a phone.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Cause like, did I, if the slow response to it, like, could I have used fewer words? That's so interesting. 2 swipes, 111 words, 2 swipes.
But think about this. Think about how you're agonizing over the email.
Oh, absolutely.
We do. And you're down in your 3rd paragraph and your 4th paragraph, and you're
point A.
You're trying to be so elegant. Nobody's even seeing it. And so that's that when you know me. So I say the bottom line on top.
Oh, give them the blot. Tell us more about the blot. How does the blot work? Don't bury the lead. That's what we know from journalism.
Exactly. That's our old components. But if you know that you have limited amount of time, and then it's that element of you got to get in the finger swipe or the preview pane. You get 4 seconds in the preview pane for brain science before they flip to something else.
Oh my goodness. All the things. So everyone, we now know what to do with these emails.
And by the way, just so I'm not freaking y'all out, so it doesn't mean you can't have stuff beneath 111 words. It means, if nothing else, put it up there. Put it up your block. Bottom line on top.
Bottom line on top. There, see, we got acronyms. We got alliteration.
We need this trending.
We got rhymes. Hashtag blot. Tell that to the world. Hashtag block.
Woo.
Get to the point. Get to the point. So, I am a big fan of time blocking, and we do CEO Sunday, so we map out the whole week. We have a whole strategy
Yep.
around kind of focusing in on 90 days and what that looks like over day-to-day activities. I'm really fascinated about your concept around Monday hour one. What is the Monday hour one process? Come on, blow our heads open, Kristin. You've
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and I'm
Oh,
already
yeah.
rewriting all my emails now. So,
But it's a thing. I mean, if you could free up just even 45 minutes of your day because of all those emails, think of all the emails you're responding
yes.
to and you're writing. If you could just make them a little tighter, what you're doing is you're making future deposits to your tomorrow. It really does change the way you do it. So that's writing better, faster, but the calendar, so you can take science, but then science plus sign structure, equal sign, mind blow emoji.
Okay, go on. One more time.
I'm making this up. You're recording this, right?
Mine. Yeah, well, I'll play it back. Don't worry. Don't worry. I like what? Head blown emoji?
Do you need me to slow down?
Maybe. I need one more cup of coffee. My light is burning low. Go on.
Is it coffee? Is it? All right, this is what we do, and then we don't answer the question.
Right. Twist and turn.
So I said science is interesting. Structure makes it relevant.
Okay, go on. Tell us more.
Right? So science is, these are like natural sound bites.
Yes.
But so science is like, okay, so now you understand your recipients, now you understand the elements, but structure has two components. And I heard you and Elena talking about this on your bonus session the other day about the times of day to be productive. You have to first understand yourself and how you are most effective before you can influence others. So in a lot of my courses, I talk about chronobiology, and I heard you talking about, you said midday, right?
Midday miracle. Are you an early bird? Midday miracle. Yes. Night owl. Yes.
But we think, especially as overworked Americans, we think that we can just work harder and be more effective, but science tells us otherwise. And we can get all into multitasking and the rest of it. You can't hack science, but what you can do is you can hack your calendar. So getting back to your question, the number one thing that we do, because we're getting 200 emails and we have all these meetings, is we are just always in respond mode. And instead, in order for your week, you got to put yourself on your calendar first.
Right.
And when you know your preferences, most of us, if we get a meeting invite, it comes in as an email. So we just accept it because we want to get rid of the email. And we're not being thoughtful about when they're scheduling our time. We are giving our time away for free.
Which is our non-renewable resource.
Absolutely.
It's the one thing you can't get back, right?
It's the one thing you can't buy your way out of, all of it. Yeah, you can't financially outsource more time. So that is a core component. So Monday Hour One comes from a big coaching school called the Life Coach School, but it really, and there's lots and lots of models. There's lots of models. So the point is, you need to be looking Thursday and Friday at what your next week's calendar is. And you need to put your damn self on your calendar first.
Put your damn self on your calendar first. You heard it.
And it'll change your mind, especially if for me, I know from my chronobiology, my productivity, most people who are early birds, except for the night owls, you're going to be most productive 3 hours after you wake up.
Yep.
And then you have a couple hour swing. So for most morning people, that's going to be the before lunchtime.
Yep.
Night owls have a different rhythm, but within that, if you're giving away your productive hours to that coworker or to that client who is just like yapping, there's nothing worse than being on one of those 90-minute calls where you're like, I had nothing done.
I got nothing.
So really protecting and planning for that, and having they say at least 2 hour chunks of time where you can accomplish something. That's not what 9 o'clock at night in your couch is for. You need to be doing your job during the day. And that's hard. It's a practice.
Yes, it's a lot of practice. And I think that I am completely, I am ferocious when it comes to ruling your time.
Yes.
Like we don't even call it time management. We call it ruling your time because it is your non-renewable resource. Management implies that it can call in sick, you can wiggle out of things. But when you rule it, you take control of it. And I like this concept around like being more proactive about your time rather than react to meetings, react to things. We've started doing this thing in my calendar where we hold time for correspondence.
Mm-hmm.
So like I have a morning block that's my outbound communication. That's the people I want to talk to. And then there's a chunk in my calendar where I respond to things. Otherwise, I can get buried in email all day. And there's only so much keto to go around, and I do have to sleep occasionally.
Well, the single best hack you can do for productivity is to turn off your notifications.
Oh, absolutely.
But so many of us don't do it. And it's, or we think we've turned them off and we say, well, my phone's on vibrate. Well, can you feel it buzz?
Oh, yeah. Can you feel it shake the whole table?
or the people who are like, I can't stand the red dot on the app. I have to go do the red dot, or the Slack, or the whatever it is. So one of the best things that you can do if you are in your productive time zone is go put your phone in the other room to charge.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
There
I
be
usually
some
just
space.
turn everything off. So you got to go get it.
Space in your togetherness. No, it is a real thing within that. But so I want to go back. Somebody had a question too about optimal time for night owls.
Yes.
So it always feels like it's Kristin's free opinion, but this is based on scientific timing research by Daniel Pink called When. So I know you're fabulous, Monica, and others will put that in the chat. But what they talk about with chronobiology is you'll find out your own, but to answer the question for night owls, especially in technology, right? There's a lot of people who are, and in the pandemic, we're all doing things at different times. So they say that you're most productive, you're in your peak about 3 hours after you wake up. And that, my friends, is wake up. That means get your butt out of bed. Don't just sit there scrolling on Facebook, because your brain and your body haven't started communicating. So it's like movement actually matters.
Out of the bed. Out of the bed.
But then you go into what they call the trough. So 7 hours after waking up. So for me, that's going to be the 2 to 3 o'clock. This is perfect for me because I want to be social. I want to talk to you, but I should not be working on strategic documents.
Yeah, I do not do heavy lifting at certain points during the day.
I shouldn't
heavy lifts come in the morning.
Motor vehicle.
Right.
Like there's, but then most of us, we come back, and that's called the recovery. So that's a great time for you and I, right in your morning, edit your recovery.
Right.
So it's that element of, and you can just tell, next time that you're stuck on something and you're just like, take a look at the clock. Take a look at the clock when it seems like it's going fastest, and then take a look when it seems like it's going slow. And that's going to tell you your chronobiology. So to answer the question that Srao said was, night owls go on a different cycle, and you can just they start with their recovery. And then, so it's a little bit backwards, but it's the same rhythm during the day.
Okay, awesome. So I hope we answered the question of when is the peak optimal time for night owls. So then let's talk a little bit, let's kind of pivot a little things around goal setting.
Ooh.
Cause like I imagine you have set quite a few goals. You're an accomplished individual. So like, how did you adjust your goals based on what we're experiencing with the coronavirus? Like how did COVID-19 change the way that you approach your goals?
It kicked my butt. It kicked my butt. We always said, oh, if only I had more time, I'd get more done. And the world was like,
there you go.
How you doing on that? Did you unpack those boxes in your closet? But so, and you specifically helped me with this. So key to plug too. When we were first coming into this, like back in February and March, I was trying to claw my way out from under email. So part of why I'm so passionate about email and communication is because I live it every day. I'm not an expert at it. I'm a victim of it.
Right. I'm responding to my own pain. These are solutions for my own pain. You all are benefiting.
I'm just admiring my problem and found some research. That's all that happened. But back to your question, some of the goal aspects of it, and we talked about this too, is what I've really come to learn during the pandemic that has been life-changing for me is what I call MINS, M-I-N-S.
Go on, more acronyms, y'all.
Girl,
get into it.
I got them.
MINS, go on, tell us more about MINS. Give it to us.
The most important next step.
Woo! Most important next step. Write that down. MINS in the comment. Hashtag that.
Well, and I say this because Keita knows that I can admire a goal all day long. And
it's a beautiful one.
Oh, she's like, that's adorable, kitten. But research is a form of procrastination. So get off the websites and do it. What's the next step? So for me, goals has to be, of course, tangible. And one of the great things you helped me do is you said, so where are you going to be by that on March 15th? Where are you going to be on that on April 1? Like the time-bound nature of it takes, because a goal without a plan is just a wish.
And really a daydream, if you will. Wish,
yes.
Daydream, you're just throwing
Very
stuff
Disney.
out there. Very Disney, yes.
So for me, because as you well know, I will chase the shiny. So, and I'll research my way out of it. Part of being a good nerd is it's like, well, I should do a compare and contrast. I should do an analysis.
Let me do some slides on this.
Let me ask 19 more people just super quickly. And
right. Come on, let's survey.
Let's also talk about decision by consensus, which we'll get into later, maybe about how being popular gets in your way of being successful. So we'll come back to that.
That's a pin. That's a pin. I will say, we talked about the double-edged sword of being brilliant, and that you never run out of good ideas.
Right.
You never run out of good ideas, and you never run out of the ability to understand all the angles. And so I over-rotate on research. We have to set a timer, we set a timer. It's like, okay, give me two choices. Give me two. Yes. And I got to decide between A or B. Yes. Don't give me any more than that. Because it can, the analysis paralysis where oh, well, I need to do a little more digging, or this isn't quite what I want it to be. I need to add, 10 more slides to this before I can even share it with anyone. And they're like, no, you know what? Those slides go out the window. Do the work.
Right. And I was talking to a coach, and I know we'll get into so many different coaches, and she is she runs a startup, and she was like, because I've asked you this, I'm like, I don't know, should I use this calendar system or this calendar system? And so I'm just like, which one's prettier? And she was like, any of the big ones have already been tested by people far smarter than you. Just pick one and go. Always hit it. And I'm like, wait, look, I'm the person who can research dog food for 45 minutes on Amazon because I get into the user reviews. So I will admire my way into, I'll waste time for days. So with that, the goal is the most important next step. So if I want to do this by next Tuesday, what do I need to do today on Monday?
You're right.
So breaking your wins down into your mins, huge.
Okay, I wish I could live tweet while I'm doing stuff. Breaking your wins down into mins. I love it. Oh, all of the one-liners here. Are we capturing all of this? Somebody help. Somebody help. Okay, so I think that this is a great segue into the coaching conversation. So at what point would you recommend, or what's kind of your rubric for when it's time to hire a coach? Why do you hire a coach? What are some of your thoughts on that?
Oh my gosh. So you said earlier about the double-edged sword of being brilliant. Part of that is you think you can do it your damn self.
Because you're capable.
Well, sure, you're capable. I'm also capable of ordering dog food in less than 45 minutes, but somehow I don't seem to get around to it. So it's getting out of your own way. And so for me, I had to free myself from myself. And the challenge with and anybody who is listening live right now or to the replay, they're coming to this for a reason. They're wired in a similar fashion. And so we can collect a lot of goals, but for me, coaching is around moving from admiring the idea to taking, and you got to go through, there's a lot of uncomfortability that comes through it. But one of the things I've heard you say is that there's multiple coaches for multiple things.
Oh, yeah.
And what I feel like we often don't embrace the term coach, because we think, well, I'm just going to go get a coffee with somebody. I'm going to get a mentor. And I think that is looking for people to encourage us versus make us accountable. So, and if you're not willing to invest, and I mean the time and the money, then you have a wish. And it's okay to have a wish.
There's nothing wrong with wishing.
If you have a goal, it's something that it frees you from yourself.
Oh yeah, I think that one of the things that I am, I think I'm on three coaches. I have three coaches concurrently. So I
Oh
have a
yeah,
health
yeah,
coach, I have the me coach, and then I have my digital transformation coach. That
yeah,
we're
yeah,
we're 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 in scale mode right now. So more on that later.
yeah.
But the one thing that one of my coaches always reiterates is that you cannot read the label from inside the bottle.
Ooh.
That like it's really hard to self coach because you can't see it. Like I can look at anybody else's stuff and be
Oh.
like, you need to do this, 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 and this. And then for myself, I'm like, I think I'm gonna wear the blue dress and get lipstick on it moments before we go live and have to throw on a whole different dress. You know,
We can talk about that too.
we can talk about my wardrobe change moments before this. But like, and I think that that's an excellent point, that like coaching is an investment, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself. You have to be willing to invest in your goal, and you have to be willing to do the work, because the coach isn't going to do the work for you. You still have to do the work.
You know the other thing, and because when people hear you got to do the work, that turns them off. That's
Oh
like
yeah,
saying I'm going to I'm going to go to the gym and I have to actually work out.
I have
Like
to get on the treadmill. What?
yeah, like I'm gonna get sweaty and stuff. But so here's the real element of why I think coaching is magical. And I'm gonna steal it from what you and Elena said the other day. It's skip the line.
Yep, skip the line.
That is why coaching, because you can't get out of your own bottle. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, I am not a patient person. And especially when
No.
you have been a high achiever, you're just like, I'll never learn how to play golf because it's going to take me too damn long. Like maybe I have the skill, but I'm
Like
not
I don't have the time to waste to learn the skill.
I want, and I'm sure a lot of you do too, I want results fast.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is you, that's why coaching. I call it my life trip advisor. Because if Keita comes to me, no, but I'm being serious. If Keita, there are times where I'll come and I'll ask you something, you're like, this one, just do that one. Quit messing around. And it's that super, it gets you out of your own way, frees myself for myself, but you skip the line.
Mm-hmm.
That is gold. That is a true productivity hack.
Yes, skip the line. Why waste all the time trying to figure it out on your own? Or waste all the time like going back and forth on things, and what about this? What about that? What about this? When it's like, no, these are the three things. And I have asked one of my coaches, tell me the three things I got to do right now. Okay, so give me 1, 2, 3, because I come in hot. Hi, Kaylin. I come in hot. 1, 2, 3. Like, what are the three things you want me to focus on the next 2 weeks? All right, we'll talk about it later. You know.
Oh, well, and that's you and I. We never talk for more than 30 minutes. And it's not because we don't hurt each other. We do that socially.
Yes.
When we're talking, we're like boom, boom, boom. And it is a supercharger of how it boosts stuff getting done. And so I've definitely gone out to people when it's parenting things. I have my great friend Deli. I'll hack her parenting all day long because she's just got it down. And so it is that element of it does make your life faster. And then it relieves all that stuff on your head of why you were just hanging on and feeling bad about yourself. It really is liberating. And I want to say one other thing, because we're talking about investments, and I know a lot of people are probably saying, I don't have the money, or I don't have the, there is a ton that's out there. I'm in an accountability group with 8 other women. We don't pay a thing. We pay it forward. It's reciprocity. I just was talking to somebody earlier today. She's going to help me improve integration on my website, and I'm going to help her with her writing. So, and there is a lot of investment that has nothing to do with dollars. So if that is one of your excuses, that's what you said in the beginning. If that's one of your excuses, get it out of your head.
Oh yeah, there is more than one way. There's more than one way. So then, like, I want to make sure that we save a little space on to talk about. We chatted briefly about the velvet rut. I mentioned it because I believe the first time I ever heard that, you said it to me in a conversation. So what's the velvet rut, and what does that kind of look like? Because like I know we've both experienced the velvet rut at some point.
Sure. I know. And I love it when you were saying that about, and now it's on your website. And yeah, I should have trademarked that stuff.
You got to catch me before I use it.
It's all good. I've gotten a lot more than that phrase. So for me, in that very first career I was telling you about, it was one of these huge companies and kind of that Dilbert-esque with all of the different desks. And I remember walking by and I said, what are the different, all the nameplates on the desk? And I said, what are the different colors for? And they said, oh, that's for the service anniversaries. And I was like, oh, so what's gold for? And they said, oh, that's 20. And they were like, jazz hands, right? And in my mind, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to be sitting in that cubicle 20 years from now.
Right, not that one.
Well, no, right. And I remember saying this to, then there was a consultant I was getting to work with as part of the company. And I was saying this to that individual. I was like, I'm struggling. I don't see myself here. And he leaned forward and he said, beware the velvet rut, for it is mighty comfortable.
Oh.
And I spent some time unpacking that. And he said, it could be the money, it could be the title, it could be a relationship. It's all the things that you wrap your mind around, a mental blanket to take the edge off the rough edges of a rut. And I think for a lot of us, so I never had goals for the achievements that I've had. I never knew to dream that big. I was the first woman in my family to complete a college education. I didn't know I could make 6 figures or 7 figures. That just wasn't a dream that I had, but I sure knew what a rut felt like. And when I envisioned sitting in a cubicle with a gold nameplate, I knew sometimes our future is what we find that we don't want before we can define what we do want.
Oh, absolutely. I can tell you what I don't want to do.
Oh, true story. True story. But I think the other really important part of a velvet rut is it's also the place that people push us when our goals make them uncomfortable.
Oh, absolutely. They want you to play it safe.
Yeah.
Play it safe.
As an entrepreneur, how many times have people been like, but you have a nice job?
Oh, yeah.
You got
why don't you get, and it may be the people closest to you.
Oh, it often is.
You know?
It often is, especially that. There is studies, because you know I love it, that says there's two studies. The good news effect. So like if you win the lottery, it has a shelf life of 3 to 6 months before you go back down to your kind of your subset of happiness.
Oh, wow.
So you have to train yourself and your mind to get comfortable being happier than you are. That is a velvet rut.
Oh, wow. Oh, you are everyone, are we all following along here?
I think they're like, she's hurting my head. She's hurting my head.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm with it. I'm with it. So then understanding that, you know, how do you escape the velvet rut? Like, what is the escape methodology? How do you get out of that cozy, comfortable place where you've achieved things, you've got it going on, it feels good, you've checked some boxes. How do you escape the velvet rut?
Sure. So, and I spent many, many years in it. I was a good Gen Xer. I went after the brass ring, and because that's what everybody told me to do. Right. I mean, I paid tuition to way too many schools. I did not need to do that. But it was that element of, well, this will make me X. And then you get there and you're like, and one of the things, back to your double-edged sword, is when you have everything and it's not enough.
Yes.
When you get the brass ring, you get the promotion, you get the whatever it is, and then you sit there and you're like, so why am I not happy? And
I worked my butt off. This isn't feeling
and then
good.
When I share it, and again, I came from a military family, so it's never explain, never complain, right? You're not supposed to complain if you're not happy.
Right.
And then back to people pushing us into our velvet ruts. It's like, it's that, what do you have to complain about? So to answer your question, how do you get out of your own rut? I now make sure that there's space where I can listen for that discomfort. Because it's there. Again, we're not all here having this conversation because we are super satisfied with where we're at.
Right. Because we're all super excited. Well, listen for the discomfort. Go on, tell us more.
Well, and so that's the sign. And so, you know, they used to say early on, oh, you should have the butterflies or the rest of it. For me, when I am most uncomfortable is when those muscles are stretching. And I know for sure that the opportunity is always outside my comfort zone. When I want to go back to the comfort zone, that's when I'm drawing myself back into the rut. And look, we all have the days where we want our couch and a blanket.
Oh, yes.
Probably an unhealthy snack. It's okay to have those days. That is the human condition. And it is that discomfort. And Kita, you've watched my discomfort up close many times. And when I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is hard, I'll just go back to being an executive and taking the paycheck every week. It's hard to do the hustle. And that's where the goals happen. And not just the goals that you think that you want.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
You said too about when you're in that grit and you're just like, it's kind of like when you want to lose weight, you get in your scale and you're like, I had a salad 2 hours ago. Why hasn't this moved?
Right. Like, I have eaten healthy for 24 hours. I expect 10 pounds down.
Ridiculous. The Kardashians can do it. And but what happens is it's usually 3 to 4 days later. And what I mean by that is whenever you're in the grit, whenever you're in that ticked off, like I've had enough. I've been working and nobody noticed, nobody support. That's the grit. Staying in the grit gets you to the reward.
Oh, stay in the grit, y'all. Stay in the grit. Okay, so then I cannot close this out without asking you what's next for you.
It's all great. You mentioned my sabbatical earlier. When I walked away from a top level big stock options job and didn't work for over a year, because you knew me then. And so what's next for me is I'm starting an entire side hustle. So I have a really great day job that's given me a lot of amazing opportunities, and I am going to do courses and coaching and keynotes because all of these nerd facts need to be released into the world.
Awesome. Well, like, I think that is discomfort, because like it's real comfy, it's real cozy, and even putting yourself out there, putting your baby out in the world.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness, just putting it out there and, opening yourself up. So I want to congratulate you on taking those first steps. And so if people want to hear more about your side hustle, where do they find you?
Yeah, if you haven't had enough right now.
Right, if you need more, Kristin, where do we find you? If you're not
already like, please never speak to me again. Yes, so and maybe Monica could put this in the chat, but I'm KristinGrahamComms.com.
There you go.
So it's all word nerd. It's all word nerd. And I will, for your listeners too, when I launch my classes in September and October, I'll come back to you and we'll make sure that there's a successfully discount code. Okay.
Oh, awesome. We love it. We love to have, I am notoriously a bargain shopper. So I'm going to sign up myself. I'm going to be the first one to sign up just to get my email.
Now let's be clear. Yeah, let's be clear. You're full price.
I'm full price. Yeah, all good. I'll pay it. Okay, so last question. What's your advice to our goal getters? And then we're going to land the plane. What's your advice?
Ooh. What I would say to you is, what are your limited beliefs? What are the things when you're hearing this that you're saying, well, that works for Kristin, or I could make this much money. We all put bookends on what's possible. And so that is what I love about your program. That is what I love about what you're unlocking in the 90-day way and just in individual coaching, because you remove those bookends. You all do, your whole team does. And it's being able to say, what if somebody asked you what's possible? Would you have an answer? And you don't have to have just one answer. You can have multiple goals.
Yes. Ooh, yeah. So that's a great mic drop. Thank you. Thank you to the magical Kristin Graham. You can find her at KristinGrahamComms.com. Monica has put it in the link. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being so generous with your time. And thank you for dropping some major knowledge on us. Wow. Everyone, 111 word emails. I'm not even going to do anything beyond that. There's not going to be any bullet points. You just better get the concept in 111 words. So once again, I am Kita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. I want to remind you of our last little bit of FOMO. If you have not worked through all the exercises in the 5 Days of Focus Challenge, please know that the units are disappearing at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, August 11th. We have opened the doors to our Your 90-Day Way group coaching program. We have a special promotional price right now, and that promo goes away. It goes away on August 11th at 11:59 p.m. So don't miss out. Don't miss out. If you need additional support, reach out to your concierges. So you can reach out to Monica if the first letters of your name are A through K, and you can reach out to the Magical Maggie if the first letters of your first name are L through Z. We are doing a coaching corner at 5 p.m. tonight. So if you have specific questions for me, join the Zoom link. We have it in the events. We'll share it around one more time. I'll be live on Zoom to answer any questions about the coaching program at 5 p.m. today. So Monica, can you put that in the chat as well? All right, y'all. It has been an absolute pleasure. Once again, I am Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Let's get after it. Okay, we got to stop the live stream.